Alert YouTube, we got another recap of Operation Devil Dogs, this time round 3. Now with that little sensory overload out of the way, let's get on with the recap of what happened. Okay, so Austria-Hungary, let's see, what did Austria-Hungary do? Well, for the most part, like I had to use resort to my task force, my homemade task force markers. Right here, this is all the Austrian stuff, and this is all the German stuff that's in Western Ukraine right now. So the Austrians beefed up the Germans in Western Ukraine so that the Russians could not attack, at least not yet. And they attempted to attack Crimea, but lost 1 infantry in the process and did not get a hit. So Crimea is contested by them. And they knocked out Albania. And let's see, yeah, they knocked out Albania, reinforced Dalmatia, built in Austria and Bulgaria as well. And that's basically about what they did. Russia continued doing, Madman continued doing Russia's play of that, as he does. He's a really good Russian player, so this is an uphill battle, so to speak. But basically, he just continued to feed and doomstack his eastern Ukraine territory, and he has all these fast movers that can tow units in central Russia. He got I believe a machine gun or an elite from, if I'm recalling correctly, from the U.S. Since they're neutral, they're allowed to supply technology. So right now, Russia has an elite and a machine gun in eastern Ukraine, and they have a machine gun in central Russia as well. Let's see. I like to do this so that if powers of multiple territories get in the same space, on the same side, you can denote which is which. Anyway, and as you can see over here, the Brits are coming up. I'll come back to it in the turn order of the recap, but the Brits are coming up here, so it actually might be important to distinguish what allied technology is Russian up there. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah, basically, Russia still has 2 sea units. They lost 1 cruiser here previously in the Black Sea. But he's basically just, building up land forces. And he's got a truck going up here in Urals to tow the Far East units over. And yeah, basically, it's about what Russia's doing. Didn't do any combats. And that's that. Side note, because of the strategy they're doing, they have the first turn, he bought 1 rail to extend the Trans-Siberian Railway, but he has not been doing that all game, after that at least. So he extended it to Siberia, but he has chosen not to build the railway anymore. So that's kind of interesting, little bold, but I get it. It's Madman we're playing against. So anyway, Germany fed more stuff into eastern Ukraine. What did they get? They got a 6 with their tech breakthrough, and they got or not breakthrough, technological achievements. They got a 6, so they got to choose or get a facility, and they got improved sea mines, which are up here in Season 21 now. And I'm playing Germany, so I did a bold purchase of a whole bunch of submarines, placed them in Season 21, brought a sub out of convoying the Russians up there in Season 24, and I sent a fleet up the existing fleet I had from 21 up to Season 1, which, as you can see, got wiped by the British. I also had 2 cruisers down here, which I sent up here, and the French Navy attacked them, and they lost their battleship. Oh, speaking of which, here are the casualties of the round. So, quite a bit. China has jumped into the game at this point. But as you can see, French Dreadnought and German Dreadnought along with British cruiser and subs, the casualties, and quite a few German cruisers as well, and submarines. So there you go. Fun stuff. More neutrals, and mostly infantry and cavalry from the looks of it. There definitely were some artillery, and some artillery. Definitely some artillery were lost. Anyway, I'll get to that. So the Germans went up to that sea zone. The Brits from sea zone 20, focus. The Brits from sea zone 20 pursued and got really lucky on their first round of combat. The Germans did not get any hits against them, which, ouch, I felt it when I watched that video. And but then on the second round, they got a few hits. So the Brits are down to 4 cruisers here and a dreadnought here, but there are 8 submarines there and 1 submarine up there in the far north. Anytime you can knock down a French ship, I consider that a success. And dreadnought is not easy for the French to replace, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, pursuing down here in Africa, or continuing down here in Africa, the Germans marched into Rhodesia with everything from Belgian Congo and German East Africa, and then brought a guy, basically continued bringing their other units over. And let's see, that's basically about it. Britain, in response, turtled into South Africa, and then was sent a guy into Germany East Africa since it was open to take it. That is British controlled. I don't know why that marker got moved. Must have bumped it at some point. And then he brought stuff over from Arabia to fortify that as well. So kind of freeing up the Ottomans a little bit. He then marched into open Hejaz. I got to look up how to pronounce it. But anyway, Britain took this territory, left Arabia open, so the Ottomans came in and took it. In India, he built a truck and 2 infantry and artillery, and towed over an infantry, and then everything else from Afghanistan and India railed up to Turkmenia up here. So very interesting to see that in play. He could always change his mind and come down to Persia when he wants to. But we'll see, because it's going to take him a while to march over there to be effective. So we'll see how that goes. Backing up to France on the Western Front, since there was the big purchase, there was a giant purchase of naval units, sea units for the Germans. Only a few land units and air units were mobilized on the map. Germany also bought, a little bit of focus. Germany also purchased the Red Baron, as you can see there. And they built him in Lorraine, but that did not prevent the French from coming over from Cardi and attacking Lorraine. So he got a good roll against the Germans in Lorraine, and he got a good roll. And I believe he got 17 hits against Germany, and Germany only got 10 hits against him in response. So this is what he's got in Lorraine, and this is the minimal amount of stuff left for Germany. There is 3 artillery, 1 machine gun, 1 infantry, 2 fighters, the Red Baron, and 2 Zeppelins left. Germany also this round bombed. Sorry about those focus issues. I'm gonna just keep the camera on tripod on the stand. But anyway, so to help avoid that. Germany this round did bomb Paris, and they braved an interception, both 2 fighters versus 2 Zeppelins, no losses on either side on the interception. And then Germany, 1 bomb hit Germany's strategic bombing raid. 1 bomb was successful and scored 4 IPCs away from the French. So when a strategic bombing raid is successful, that means that whatever, you then roll another die, and then that amount of IPCs is immediately sucked away from the treasury of the defender. basically. So France immediately lost 4 IPCs. It's not like in global where damage goes to a factory and then you can just choose to pay it off or not. No, the 4 IPCs are immediately just removed from play. So cool, right? Anyway, but since he's contested this territory where the Zeppelins were, now they can't do another strategic bombing raid, so they're kind of stuck there, but they can attack, say, Burgundy, they can attack Belgium. Contested can only go to contested or friendly, essentially. But he cannot, I cannot bomb Paris again, this round at least. Anyway, backing up to the British a little bit. British moved some units over from mainland London to Wales, and they also moved their transports and a sub down to Sea Zone 18. And there was a cruiser. Germany moved a cruiser into Sea Zone 20. And you don't have to, with 1914 and Kings and Kaisers, you do not have to conduct combat moving a sea unit into a hostile sea zone. It just stops your movement, and you can choose to attack or not. But if you make it a hostile sea zone, then you can't load transports in there. So that was a move Jonah was not entirely familiar with. He's a little unprepared for, but basically that made it so he could not bridge across another 6 British units. Germany also attacked Belgium and attacked Burgundy, but did not clear either territory. There was 1 unit left in each. France also counterattacked in Burgundy, but didn't clear it, didn't get enough hits. So fun stuff there. What else I'm thinking about? The Canadians, they're just existing at this point. Coming over here to this part of the world, get mounted again, so no focus issues. Or less focus issues, rather. Let's see. The Ottomans attacked the Italians in British East Africa, but got no hits. So this is just contested over here. The Ottomans, these guys were activated previously by the Germans. Darfur is a pro-Ottoman aligned territory, so they activated those units. Then previously they came down to Belgian Congo. Then this turn they attacked British East Africa and just kind of stalemated right there. Let's see. Krautfather, as the Ottomans, rolled a 6 for tech and got a. Did he roll a 6? Yeah, no, he rolled a 6, and he chose a machine gun. So he placed a machine gun in Palestine. He walked into Arabia, kind of sent some units up to Caucasus, as well as backed up from Mesopotamia to Armenia, and just bought a bunch of infantry and also that technology token roll. What else I'm thinking about? That's basically what the Ottomans did this turn. Yeah, okay. Italy did not counterattack here. Pretty much all they did was they sent a couple infantry up to Tyrol, where they just contested it. So right now there's 1 infantry right there in Tyrol. And then they got 2 breakthroughs, 2 technological achievements. Sorry, breakthroughs a force of habit term. Technological achievements. They got 2 achievements. They got a poison gas and they got a machine gun. So right now, Italy is sitting pretty with some nice offensive and 1 defensive tech in northern Italy, up in, what is this again? Veneto. Okay, so they got a poison gas, a machine gun, and an elite. Pretty cool. All right, and let's see. They've been convoying the Ottomans over here. France also moved a guy over to Egypt. That's about it. France also previously railed a guy from West India up to Turkmenia as well, and then the British followed. Let's see. And then last but not least, the U.S. The U.S. finished wiping out southern Mexico and bought more transports, and then other mainland units just came down to southwest United States. Fun stuff, right? So they are not at war yet, so they have to stay in this kind of vicinity. They have to end their movement in territories that are adjacent to their original territories unless the Central Powers have the Empire Point, which they do. So they do have free range, but they cannot declare war. And then in the Pacific, they have to end their movement in territories or in sea zones adjacent to territories that they originally controlled and stuff. But everybody in the Pacific for America is up here, and in the Atlantic down here. Yeah, so fun stuff. They have taken out Mexico since they're not at war. They're not at war with Germany yet. But as soon as they are, Chile, in response to this, Chile will flip to German, and Germany will control these Chilean units. Let's see, that artillery got bumped down there. I spilled something earlier and had to fix a little bit of a mess. That was one thing I overlooked. Anyway, let's see. Okay, and then last but not least, the National Protection War has started in China. Empire of China attacked Zhejiang, attacked Hubei, and attacked Sichuan, contesting all three of them. And then the Republic liberated Hubei back and reinforced Zhejiang. So nothing crazy exciting, but this territory, because of how many territories it's adjacent to, is very, very key. So we'll see how it goes. But all of this is in Zhejiang with 2 units built in Jiangsu there by the Empire, and the Republic built 2 infantry in Kwangtung, down here in Kwangtung. All right, so cool. That is that, and that covers round 3. So we'll get into round 4. I'm already having to catch up to the other players. I got to update the Austrian and Russian turns and then do my German turn, and we'll go from there. But anyway, thank you for watching. We also have over here current victory point situation. What do we got here? I might have to update this a little further. Focus. All right. So right now the Allies have, let's see. Actually, nobody has the Western Front point. Actually, wait. Let's see. Well, most territories are contested, so actually the Central Powers have the Western Front point, because the Allied powers only control Picardy. They do not control Burgundy. They have dominance in Lorraine, actually, and the Germans have Alsace and Rhine province. And 5. The Germans have dominance in Belgium. So yeah, technically it is. Oh, sorry, let me show you. The French have dominance here. They have at least more than 5 units. Let's see. But never mind, I take that back. Germany has more than 5 units as well. So nobody has dominance here. Germany has dominance in Belgium. So they have 3 territories, and the French have 1. So yeah, actually, I was correct in my change. Central Powers technically have the Western Front point, just barely out of a technicality. I don't expect them to hold it, but maybe they'll get it back. Favorable trade, the Allies have wholeheartedly. The Russian Revolution, the Allies have, since it has not occurred. Mediterranean, nobody has. The Central Powers have the Balkans point. They have the Black Sea point, and the Allies have the Africa point. In China, I'm going to say it's too close to call for now, because it just started, so I'm not going to call that point yet. Or not call it, but not establish who has it. Technically, the Germans, or the Central Powers, have sorry about that. Limited space here. Technically, the Germans, or Central Powers, have the Pacific Colonies point because they control or contest at least one of those territories they started with. Central Powers have the Empire point. They also have Belgrade, and they have 3 minor cities. So that's kind of what's going on right now. The minor cities they have are Bucharest, what's that? Hamburg. I think that moved up from. Focus. They have Bucharest. This is from Warsaw. That's what it was. Warsaw and Kiev. So right now they have 3 minor cities. The Allies, they do have Mecha. I forgot to update that. They do have Mecha for the time being. Let's see. There we go. They do have Mecha. What else am I missing? Am I missing anything else? And Central Powers also have Baku. Here. Put these on the board. Bad little recapper. I forgot to update those. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. Okay, cool. So that's it for the time being. So right now it is 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3-7 right now. But with the way things are going, that could totally change. Allies are in a pretty good position to kick some butt. Central Powers are in a good position to create some chaos, which is always a plus. So anyway, stay tuned to the next round. Sorry, this recap was a little on the long side, but you know, it's a big global conflict, you know, so it's a lot to cover. So anyway, stay tuned until next one.